Hey y'all, so it is our first time doing a noodling tutorial or FAQ video since like 2018 or 2019, but with all the questions that we've gotten on TikTok and YouTube, Instagram, we decided it's a good year since we don't have Addie today, and it's the last day of season, to put together a little refresher video on what noodling season looks like and how to participate in it, or maybe even a brand new video for those of you that have never learned anything about noodling and are brand new to this. So we're gonna try our best to stay on track and cover all of the tips and tricks and tools and all of that.
And hopefully catch a fish.
Yes.
But I don't feel that hopeful today. The water temperature is about 83, 84, and we were up here about 2 weeks ago, and it was about 87. So once it hits about 86, 87, they're about done with about, especially with the boxes and stuff that we put out. So
we'll get into that topic here in just a sec too. So
yeah.
Let's do it. All right, so pretty often through our videos, you'll probably notice a cane pole. If we're in a natural hole, i.e. being like a boat ramp, a lake wall, a tree stump with roots that we could get up under, something like that, we have these cane poles that have a hook. There is no barb left on them. It's actually illegal to use anything with a barb, especially a treble hook. And let me tell you, if I see your fish gashed open in your pictures, I'm judging you, because that means you're doing one of those things and you shouldn't be. But the reason we use these is because oftentimes the fish in natural holes will burrow themselves a minimum of 5 foot back, often way further than that, which is out of hand's reach unless they just happen to shoot to the front. It's really hard to just get your hands on them naturally. So we'll use this. Sometimes they'll bite it if they're feeling feisty, sometimes they won't, and you can either get them right under here and just gently pull them to the front, or you can get it right in their mouth and pull them to the front, and then you get your hands on them. But when you see cane poles, that's what they're for.
And what I do with these, just so you know, it's a cane pole, and everywhere where these little grooves meet, y'all know cane poles, you just cut it above it. And that's what this is cut above this next section here. I basically drill out a hole there at the top, and then I've got another hole drilled in about right there all the way through. I put a bolt with a lock nut in it, screw it down, not too tight. Normally I go until I just hear at least one little crack. I think these are 7/0 or 8/0 hooks, I can't remember, but just a regular old mustad hook you can buy, Bass Pro, Walmart, order online. And then you cut the tip off, so like Alyssa said, it won't gouge them, and then bend that barb back so you're legal by the state. And then I wrap it in tape, because once the fish bites this, it can crack this cane once it gets dried out. I do these whenever they're green, so you can see I did this one about probably 4 weeks ago, so you see a little bit of a green tint there. It's starting to dry out. Normally they don't last but about a season. Normally I have to redo them every year. So
you'll see some folks with like PVC pipe, or what was that Blake had that was really
PVC
cool?
pipes, and you can use dowels. You can go to Lowe's or Home Depot and buy dowels, and it's just a more sturdy. I like the cane because they float really well. You can feel really well once they're in there. Sometimes I'll make one that's about 1.5 feet, 2 foot long, just to where if they're just out of reach, I can reach them. I'll have some about like this long, which this one's about probably, I'd say 6 foot. Yeah, about 6.5 actually. And then I'll make another one a little bit longer, about 10 foot.
He also has a cute little cane stick that's about this long that has no hook on it. Purpose of that, if you're one of those people that worries about finding snapping turtle or snake or whatever in a hole, because we get that a lot, first I'll say that's never happened. But 2, you can use that cane pole to put in the box or in the natural hole to begin with, instead of your hand, just to reassure yourself that it's a catfish.
To feel and see what's in there. So, but that's it on that. Gloves, you can buy any gloves. I got this one floating. Carhartt makes some really good. They're just, I guess just regular work gloves, but they're coated with this rubber coating on top and bottom with this pretty thick, but over time you see that's a hole right there. Blue cats and flatheads, once over time they'll start wearing a hole out right there in that. So I've got some for me, they're black. Alyssa's got some that's gray, got purple banding on them. You can buy them from Tractor Supply, I know, or online. But yep, that's it. That's the tools you need. and a boat.
And some sunscreen.
And some sunscreen.
The most important thing I would say before you go on your first noodling trip is to verify that it is legal in your state, because several states have outlawed noodling, which is why we'll probably never leave Alabama unless they outlaw it because it's one of the few states that allows it. Second rule of thumb I would suggest is your first time, go with someone that knows what they're doing. Don't try your hand at this like total DIY your first time, and especially not by yourself. Yeah. Always have someone that can keep the boat off of you, make sure you didn't get hung and stuck on anything, etc.
All right, so go in like this with your hand flat. You don't want to go like this.
Maybe even closer together.
Yeah, I don't like that. When he bites you, he's gonna bite like that, or he might bite up here. Depends on how big he is. I don't think this is a very big one because it's not a very big box.
People often think too though that all catfish bite and hold on, and that's not often the truth either.
All right, so let's get it.
It's one of our more shallow boxes. You can see it. Man, I think the fish is. Oh, it got him. Oh. Oh, hey buddy. So that's a flathead. They're usually a little bit sweeter than a blue cat is. Their bite's not typically as strong as a blue cat. That's okay. They're not typically as strong as a blue cat.
So when he bites you, you're gonna he's gonna bite you like that, and you're gonna grab that bottom lip, and you can go under right there, and it's like pretty good. Yeah, pretty good handle there you got. Some people like to grab them like that, flatheads. On blue cats, you can't. You're gonna have to try to hold inside their gill plate right here to an extent. But it ain't nothing but like sandpaper. They don't have teeth. They don't have anything that's gonna hurt you. It's just sandpaper. Now, if I wore this, didn't have gloves on, it could really, it could tear your skin off. But other than that, they're not gonna hurt you.
Everyone asks about these. These don't sting. Everyone asks about these. On flatheads, they don't poke. They're very blunt. Yeah,
they're blunt. They don't even have barbs on flatheads, on yellow cats. Blue cats, once they get to a certain size, their barbs are kind of blunt anyway from getting in and around stuff. So then also, what I was explaining about the gill plate, you've got, once he bites you here and you're down underwater, you've got to do it all in one motion. You've got to grab here, pull them to the front, and once you get them like this in this state, they're not going to do a whole lot. They're just going to sit there. Now, depending on if there's eggs in there, they can roll. They might get a little vicious on you, but for the most part, they're going to just stay pretty calm. Then you get your left hand, or whichever non-dominant hand is, and you go in their gill plate. And if you look at that, so that's their gills. That's their lungs. That's how they breathe.
Yeah, let's not touch that.
But how you do is go in right there, slide your hand in there, and I'm in their gill plate. So right there, you're not going to hurt anything. Nothing's going to harm the fish. So other than that, pull them to you, hold them tight, and get after it.
That was me in the grass.
Okay, I'll make sure. So this one right here, you can tell this is a male. He's done let the female come in. She's laid, and then now he's fertilizing the eggs, and then he's just sitting there going the eggs.
What Cody's saying is that all men need to take advice from male catfish. Do all the work for your lady, clean the house, let her have the babies, and then you take care of the babies. Not really, but
not really.
Male flatheads are awesome. They do all the work. You could catch this guy early season and he could be, what, 5 pounds heavier?
Yeah.
I mean, they like basically starve themselves and don't feed. They stay on the nest for the most part.
It's really neat.
But yeah, pretty cool to catch a flathead this late in the year.
All right, so another question we get asked is why we release, or do we release? We release at least 98% of our fish. Very rarely, we haven't kept a fish in, I know,
2 years.
At least 3
Maybe
years.
Close to 3.
But every now and then we'll keep 5 or so just to clean and eat just for ourselves. But it's very important because if you don't, they can, it's very detrimental to the species because they're in there laying their eggs. The bigger fish especially, those are the ones you really want to let go. This one is actually along the lines of the ones you would want to keep. This is about probably a 10 to 13 pound flathead. So keeping this one wouldn't necessarily harm as much because there's just the quantity is more of this size. The quantity of a 40, 30, 40 plus is just not there. So you really want to let them go.
The bigger fish supposedly are the best breeders. They lay more eggs. Their genetics are typically better, etc., etc. If we do decide to keep fish, like 3 years ago, the last fish that we kept, it was on the last day of season because we didn't want to go in there and pull a female that's full of eggs. We wanted to get a male that's possibly done and about to leave the nest anyway for the season. So if you are going to keep them, do it towards the end of their spawning.
That's what we recommend anyway.
Yeah.
You do what you feel free. But
yeah, some people do this just for food, so we're not hating. But if you're doing it for sport and you're doing it to catch big fish in the future.
That's a pretty fish.
Okay, show them.
They got them all on them. They
Can't
just
really
clean
see. There
touch
it
them.
goes.
I don't know what the
see
name of
really.
them are. I'd like to know.
Look at them. They got like little boogies that live on them.
But,
all right, let them go. Let them get back.
get back at it.
Look at this goober. You didn't. You are out of breath.
Oh my gosh, I just ran.
And
Look at this turtle.
Be sweet. He may not like that very much.
It falls.
Does that?
God. Man, he was fast. You see him?
He did. He was getting it.
All right, you ready to go, buddy? Whew. Watch how fast he is. Golly.
My personal favorite part of the day.
Food.
Jacks. And they're hiring. You want a job you love? You got it.
Right there. I can't tell you where we at because that'd give us away to where we fish. I don't want that.
I probably shouldn't have shown that. Anyway, in all seriousness, we really are getting food, but we're also off the water, done, and we're going to share some good clips from this previous season because
Today was not that good.
Obviously today wasn't that.
All right, big girl. I don't know what she'll go, but
You are a big girl.
all right, so big old blue though. God, oh man, that's a big fish. Look at that mouth.
It's like a flathead man.
God, it didn't feel like a flathead mouth. Wore me out.
All right, aim her the opposite direction when you let her go.
Let's let her go. God, that's awesome. Pretty fish.
You turd. I'm trying to get situated so she doesn't twist up my arm.
Good.
So she's a little more difficult to get. She felt so much bigger.
It's a good one though, babe. Pick her up. Solid fish though.
Worked hard for that one.
Out of this boat ramp right here. Got mine. Mine's a female, yours is a male. Look where she got bit on the side.
Aww,
That's pretty cool.
it is cool.
Good job, babe.
Thank you.
Look, bank right here, ramp.
Coco found the amp.
Perfect little spot.
Oh, there's definitely another one. Just bit him. Oh my word.
That's the big one. All right, big female, big male. We'll let her go.
I don't want to stress her anymore. She's full of eggs.
Look at that tail.
This stresses him too much. Anyways, look where he's been bit on the tail.
Yeah, that's a big fish.
big chunk of meat.
Look at it now. God, that's a big one. I'll let him go.
Woo! He had a lot more energy than that female.